Here we are on East Houston Street, Lower East Side of Manhattan, and we're about to try some of the most iconic and original food of New York City. I'm talking about the New York Delicatessen and appetizing shop.
New York City is the home of plenty of different cuisines, but the cornerstone of the city's vibrant food scene are still these local, century-old Jewish delis with tasty cuts of meat that always attract a long line of customers every day of the week. Katz. One word, four-letter name. Probably the most famous delicatessen in the country.
Opened in 1888, this is supposedly the first delicatessen in the city. For some reason, it is painted 1898 here. And if you can see the smear right here, they're trying to fix it into an 8. Whoever did the paint job on this one did a pretty bad job. And every week, thousands and thousands of tourists would line up for the most popular sandwich in the world, the pastrami on rye. Let's go check it out.
Welcome in, how are you?
Good, how are you?
These are your tickets. You need them to order and to pay for your meal. Do not lose them.
Soon as I step inside, there's only one word to describe this place. Overwhelming. From the line of people that seem to last forever, into this large deli full of hungry patrons, and people at different cutters waiting for their turn to order. So many actions, so chaotic that it makes you feel like you're at an airport.
Next sandwich.
Can I do one pastrami on rye, one corned beef Reuben, and one matzo soup?
Depending on what you order, they always give you a piece or two for tasting.
The pastrami is so fatty.
Witnessing this is like watching a performance. There are a lot of cutting and chopping actions. The speed of the knives increases, and so does the customer's count. These slices of meat are nicely stacked on top of each other, and a smear of mustard on the rye bread, and we're ready to go.
Anthony Bourdain said if you go to New York, you gotta have this at Katz. And here we are, sitting in the century-old delicatessen with this 2-ingredient sandwich. I mean, this literally just pastrami on rye bread, and they do like a slap of mustard on top. Like, that's it, 2-ingredient sandwich that drive people crazy for over a century. We're here to see what it's all about. This sandwich is melting. The whole wall of meat just fall apart and just melts in your mouth. I just take a bite. So soft, so tender, and very well seasoned too. 30-day cured meat, flavor really comes through. Not too salty. The color is just beautiful. The dark bark on the outside, that's just full of flavor right there. And look how easy this meats fall apart. Like, look at this. Oh my God. It just melts in your mouth. The acidity in the mustard cuts through the fattiness of the beef. Speaking of acidity, they also give you a plate of pickles, and I heard the pickle is really nice. It's a good piece of pickle. Half sour, kind of sweetness, very fresh. Like, you gotta be careful because this sandwich is easy to fall apart. Like, look how delicate this thing is. Look how easy. You can just pick the bread out, just like that. At this point, I don't even know how to pick up my sandwich anymore. The base is pretty much destroyed. Now it's just like protein and no more carbs. It looks like a beautiful bite right there. And I feel like just eating just one sandwich is gonna fill me up the whole day. I know it's $30, but it's gonna fill you up.
Our second sandwich is corned beef on rye, Reuben style.
There's more going on in the sandwich right here. We got, of course, the rye bread, the corned beef, layer of Swiss cheese, and the Russian dressing. So there's more elements to the sandwich compared to the pastrami on rye. So this really is a leaner cut of beef. I think I prefer the pastrami more. There's like a little bit more fat going on compared to this one. It takes a little bit more effort to chew. This is a piece of pastrami and corned beef side by side. The thickness of the cut is very different. Like, this one is cut out like paper thin, and this is a little bit thicker. That's why this one takes a little bit more effort to eat. This is also a very good piece of sandwich, but I think I would go with the pastrami on rye.
And now we're gonna wash it all down with some matzo soup.
So matzo is unleavened bread, so it's almost like pieces of cracker broken down, mixing with like beaten eggs and water. They form into like ball shapes like this. It comes with chicken stock, a little bit of carrots, a little bit of celery, and this is traditionally known for curing common cold. My friend told me that his mom usually make this whenever he got sick. Oh yeah, Just really like comforting tasting soup. Let's dig into the matzo ball here. I'm pretty surprised because being bread itself, it doesn't just decompose in the soup. It kind of holds shape really well. This thing just falls apart in your mouth. I don't know why it tastes kind of like meat. Apparently there's no meat in here. It's almost like a new food when it tastes like bread and meat at the same times, which I don't know how to explain it. It's just what it is. Really soft. I feel like this can be like a late night supper or a morning breakfast at the same time.
After the meal, you pay with the ticket you order with, and do remember to hold on to the ticket because you need it to exit the building. If you lose your ticket, too bad, they'll keep you here forever, and you have a very high chance of becoming the next batch of pastrami.
Okay, I got a confession to make. I was really worried to the point that I got stressed out before I walked into Katz today. Jewish Delicatessen is not really in my territory, so I was worried that whatever I say, if I say anything wrong, like people might judge me. Let me know down in the comment how I did.
The next place we're heading to is right down the street from Katz. This is New York famous appetizing shop, Russ and Daughters. To clarify, delicatessens like Katz sells meat, when appetizing stores sells fish and dairy products. In Jewish cuisine, appetizer also means store that sells food that generally goes with bagels. Whether it's fish, lox, pickled vegetables, cream cheese spreads, they got it all.
I've never had New York bagel before, so this is gonna be my very first time. I remember telling my friend, like, why would I go to New York just to try bagels? Can I just like have it anywhere in the country? But he said New York bagel is something else. So the first one is poppy seed bagel with horseradish cream cheese, recommended by the gentleman over the counter. Moment of truth. Let's go for the kill. I mean, it tastes just like a regular bagel. I still cannot find the difference between this and all the bagels I've had before. It's a solid bagel. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a really good bagel, but you know, it's still just a bagel. Solid bagel, healthy amount of cream cheese. There's nothing to complain, honestly.
Our second bagel actually cost us $17. Is it worth it?
Here's salmon with a plain bagel and traditional cream cheese. There's also a layer of tomatoes and some onions. Let's go for it. Okay, this one is just on another level. I think I prefer the plain bagel because I'm not distracted by the poppy seeds. You have like a thin layer of salmon, thin layer of onions and tomatoes, and everything is just really homogeneous and they're not competing each other in terms of like flavor. Straight to the point bagel, very flavorful. Look how thinly sliced this piece of fish is. Look at this. It's almost like an artwork. Interesting. Alone by itself, the taste of salmon is way stronger. With the bagel and the cream cheese and the tomatoes, it just really balances out the taste of a strong salmon. If you ever stop by Russ and Daughters or any of these appetizing shops, I would recommend just straight up plain bagels, plain cream cheese, just to taste like the original flavor. The cream cheese is just so rich and milky. All right, last and definitely not least, chocolate babka. It is time in the day that I need my dessert. I need some sugar. I like the chocolate flavor in this one, but it's just a little bit too doughy for me. We have the dough and layer of chocolate. I think there's a little bit of like grated hazelnuts up here. Flavor-wise, this thing is really good, but once again, a little bit too doughy for me.
And lastly, for some more dessert, we're heading to Eileen's special cheesecake where they have, well, cheesecake. It's a humble storefront on Cleveland Place. Inside is a small and cozy bakery that is filled with awards and recognitions on the wall. There's also a black and white photo of Martin Scorsese along with a cast of Goodfellas. They're popular for their mini cheese cupcakes with a variety of flavors.
You're in New York City, of course you gotta try classic New York cheesecake. I got the plain cheesecake and the lemon. It looks very creamy and fluffy. Very soft too, like look how easy I can just run my fork down like that. Cake is very soft and moist. The cream cheese layer, super creamy. It's really good. Before we go for the lemon flavor, I'm gonna wash it down with a little bit of tea. Lemon flavor cheesecake. There's like a layer of lemon cream on top as well. The graham cracker bottom is actually very moist. The lemon flavor is just a little bit artificial for me. It's still a good cheesecake though. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to give this video a like and subscribe.
Here are some more videos that you might want to check out. Have a lovely week everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.